It can be hard to get along with family, and even harder if your twin wants to kill you.
To Gina, it was a diabolically perfect plan. She would kill her twin sister, assume her identity, and no one would ever know it happened.
On Killer Kin, a podcast from ID, you'll hear true stories about family members who turn against each other. Find out if evil is a family trait. Listen to Killer Kin on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, Prime members. Are you tired of ads interfering with your favorite podcasts? Good news. With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free podcasts. That's amazon.com/ad-free podcasts to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
And I think there's the kid version.
We have just blown through so many topics already. I have no clue what we were originally.
Should I bench this and go back to what I initially was going to
maybe,
interrupt you with?
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're benching remote control car talk.
Yeah, well, a bit for next week.
A bit next week.
Maybe we'll save that.
Right. So tune in next week where we talk RC cars.
And Steve.
Yeah, Big Bacon, the big breadwinner, Papa Benjamin's.
Papa Benjamin. I mean, listen. So
it
you're not.
Sounds like something that would have been an Oliver Twist.
You're not
Papa Benjamin.
You're not off base. It's just the whitest thing I've ever heard somebody say.
Live on tape from APS 3 point whatever, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Thank you, Melissa Vaughn. The incomparable.
Every week I decide to do another. I have another thought about Melissa Vaughn, like every week. Like this week, I just pulled up Fiverr. I'm like, I wonder if she's still doing it.
Probably.
But on Fiverr, is she now kicked that service to the curb, and is she using like an agency?
No, I mean, I guess.
Like, do we now have an officially professional voice actor?
And if we do, we take credit for that, right?
Well,
I mean, that's.
We've already taken credit, Steve, for much, much more. Like, we've taken credit for generations of podcasters at this point. Mm-hmm. Because, obviously, you and I are groundbreakers. Pioneers of the industry. Me, I've been doing this since 2010. You joined late, but I let you into the club.
6 years late, 2016.
Yep. I let you into the middle-aged white guys talk about things club.
Appreciate that.
And here we are. Still blazing trails.
Yeah. Silent majority we are.
But
nobody hears from the middle-aged white guy.
And I really hate to digress already.
Please.
But the term blazing trails. Is that how did pioneers used to have to light the trails on fire to get through?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it was just so wooded and thick, lots of foliage that they just had to burn it down. Seems like a slow method to
That can't be the best way to travel. Like, hey, we've moved another 100 yards. Let's burn the next 100 yards, and we can go tomorrow when the embers are down to nothing.
We'll just camp here for a while, next to the fire.
Let me pull up the Wikipedia for blazing trails here a second. Practice of marking paths in outdoor recreational areas with signs or markings. Wow, we were way off base. Mm-hmm. I thought that...
No, it sounds pretty accurate to me.
Follow each other at certain, though not exactly defined distances, and mark the direction.
Pretty much what we said.
Of the trail. Several ways, including paint carvings. So no burning. No burning to see here. So a little of... I'll put that in the poll. Would you assume trailblazing involves some burning?
Yeah.
Because initially that would have been my very first
fire's
thought.
Blazing.
Right. And, just another week, another new education. So I should ask, though, because we heard in that intro, what we were supposed to get to right now. which was already a bump from last week.
Oh, RC car talk.
Did we want to dive head first?
I mean,
into remote control car discussion.
I don't remember the context of how it came up.
Yeah, I don't either.
Boy, I'm, as you know, 40 years old, so my late 30s.
Late 30s.
Still super interested in RC cars. As I would say, more now than when I was a child. I would go out. Now I have the means. I could go out and buy an RC car if I want to. I'm an adult. I can do things like that.
Yeah, you don't have to like wait for a holiday or a birthday or, I mean, at this point you just have to survive the scorn of your wife.
Yeah, but I can buy toys if I want to. I'm basically doing that in my garage.
Yeah.
I mean, the Comanche is basically my grown-up version of an RC car.
Yeah,
it's broken 99% of the time. When the 1% of the time that it does run, it's probably not running correctly. Mm-hmm. I try to fix it, and I just end up breaking it more.
That's a very good analogy. That your truck, your Comanche, is just a big boy RC car.
Yeah, I'm fully on board with that. Yeah.
How do you think it would go though? Like if you came home with an RC car, because you're at a stage now where if you go to the local department store, wherever, hobby store even, and you come back with an RC car that's, $29.99.
Ugh. I think even my wife would mock me.
You're kind of embarrassing, right?
Yeah. Anything that you buy in the box that has the clear plastic front.
Yeah, to display the car.
Yeah, and it's already assembled. No, that's something that you buy for your nephew, who's like 4.
Yep.
That wants his first RC car.
Yeah, and it's going to get used for 30 days on his end, and it's going to break, the battery's going to die, a wheel's going to fall off, or a dog's going to chew it, and you'll worry about it again in a year.
You need the one where you have to buy everything individually. You got to buy a motor, you got to buy the chassis, you got to buy the body, which the bodies come clear, and then you have you have to paint them or do the stickers and decals and everything.
Yes.
Airbrush them. That's the one. I think that's what I need.
You need another hobby.
That's exactly what I need.
I think that's what you're running low on is things to do.
Things on the list that I have to do.
And I think that's what I was getting at last week. I have no idea why it came up again. But is that there's 2 levels of RC carring. Mm-hmm. And it's those. It's the people who just want to zip around up and down the driveway,
Yeah, no.
In their cheap one with the... It always has to look, the remote control always has to look like a big boxy gun.
It's like a pistol grip.
And it has to have a wheel on it.
The wheel that that goes forward and backward.
Yes. Now,
and I don't know if remember there were those really cheap ones too that you got where they would only turn one way. Like the car would only turn left. So if you wanted to go right, you just had to go left 3 times.
You had to make the long roundabout way.
Or you had to do like a 5-point turn, just going, and then you could go right.
So you're thinking if you're going to dive in, and I fully agree with you, you need to dive in on the upper end.
Absolutely.
And go by, you got to be researching motors and strength and, all season tires. Yeah. So you can drive this thing around the zap.
2-wheel drive? Do I want 4-wheel drive?
Right.
Am I going to be jumping this, or is it strictly for speed?
Are you going to build a bitchin' ramp that you can do jumps in?
God. You are speaking my language.
I can see you bundled up, middle of January. Evelyn's in bed. It's dark out. You got a floodlight.
No. Evelyn's not in bed. Evelyn's inside looking out the window saying, Dada, please come play with me. Please come play dolls.
All she can see is the plume of smoke from your breath.
Yeah, condensation
coming
that's
off. The only recollection she has of Dada because he's out day and night.
As I'm muttering because this stupid thing's not working right.
Yeah, every time you jump it over, you're bitching ramp. You have to. You're just shaking your head, and you're walking up to it, and you're adjusting something underneath, and whether it's
the suspension, so it can land softer.
Yeah, and you're definitely using a controller where it's not replaceable batteries; it's a battery pack.
Yeah,
that you're then charging next to your drill. So you're getting aggravated. I think the juice is going out on it, Annette. She's like, yeah, well, I'm filing for divorce, Steve.
I get the RC cars in the divorce, woman.
I don't know.
Are you into RC cars? Would you be into RC cars?
Oh, God, no.
So you have zero interest. Even when you were a kid, you weren't into RC cars?
No, when I was a kid, yeah. In the cheap ones, because
Yeah.
it'd be a big monster truck and you'd want to,
Yeah.
that's what I would want. We had a guy in the neighborhood, like one of our friends who lived in the neighborhood, his neighbor, had those upper level ones.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd always go by and watch. Part of me was always intimidated to control them, though.
Yeah.
Those things fly.
Yeah, they move. A friend of mine, my best friend growing up, his name was Todd, and his brother Adam was really, really into RC cars, and it was the super high-end ones. And I still distinctly remember, I couldn't have been more than like 10 or 11 years old, but we went to like a big open parking lot. Me and Todd were just riding our bikes around and, screwing around. And then Adam had his RC car that he'd been working on for like months, just meticulously. Now, this is back in obviously pre-internet days. Yeah. So every part that he got had to be like, he had to like fill out the postcard, send it away, wait 3 to 6 weeks. And then like this little tiny part about an inch long made of magnesium shows up. And he's like, finally, the wishbone is here. And
Yeah.
put that on and take it out and drive it around. But he was driving that thing around the parking lot, and I swear the thing went like 55 miles per hour. It was
crazy.
insane.
Because you can hear them. They
Yeah.
scream, they whistle, and they fly past you. I feel like this is a Comanche thing, though. I feel like it's the journey for those ones. I feel like those people never truly want those RC cars built because the racing is less fun than the building.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, again,
I can see
I came out and I like to repeat it because when this comes true, I want it to be replayed a lot. That I think you're going to drive that Comanche once and hate it.
Be like, that's all right. You know what I kind of miss? Power windows.
You know what else?
Air conditioning.
A seat for my daughter.
No, because by the time that is on the road, she will no longer need a booster seat.
Right. Well, she'll need a car of her own.
Yeah.
At the pace.
That's why by 20, let's see, she'll get her driver's license in 2035 or so.
You'll be in your mid-40s.
Mid-40s, yeah. I think it'll be done by then. That's going to be her first car. She's got to learn to drive on the Comanche.
It's kind of amazing to hear you, at the age of 2, already make your daughter hate you. Yeah. By announcing on this podcast that you're going to be giving her that Comanche.
She's going to love it.
In 14 years.
Mark my words.
Is this going to be like one of those big, the holiday commercials, right?
The big bow.
Yeah, the big bow on it. So she's going to come out for Sweet 16. She's going to come out front of definitely not this house, definitely not the next house, probably not the house after that.
At least 4 houses down the line.
And she's going to have a blindfold on. And
put a pin in that, by the way. I want to go back to.
Oh, of course you do. And of course, she's going to be blindfolded, and you're going to be all excited. And Annette's probably going to have the foresight. She's already like shaking her head like this isn't going to go where Steve thinks it's going to go. Mm-hmm. In her mind, she's going to have, one of those stupid box vehicles that they sell now. What are those? The Flex or the Honda one?
Oh yeah,
it just looks like looks like a square.
It's a square. Yeah, like the old Scion XB.
Yeah,
it was just a square box.
Yeah, I could see her being 16 and thinking that she's a 16-year-old girl's going to get one of those.
Yeah, I mean, 16 years old, your first car, it's going to be not super nice, but a nice, reliable, like your '99 Cavalier.
So black leather brown on the front.
Has the taillights.
2 12-inch subwoofers in the back.
Not even hooked up.
Aftermarket CD player on the deck.
Nothing. You get that at Best Buy, of course.
No big time. I mean, where else was I going to go? Circus City, but absolutely. God, I don't know how they didn't leave you more chicks.
What do you think will be the '99 Cavalier of the year 2035?
That's a very good question. Of the year 2035.
So you got your driver's license what year?
So that was 2003.
So
only 4 years old.
Your car was only 4 years. Oh man!
But I would say
I didn't realize you were on Moneybags back then.
Oh yeah. We had the estate. Where I would argue that was out of the ordinary, right?
Yeah. Because my first car, I got my driver's license in 1997, and my car was an '86 Pontiac 6000.
Yeah.
So my car was 11 years old.
11 years old. And to peel back the curtain a little bit, today we have somebody with us today.
We do. Yeah.
We have my friend Upper Peninsula Chris of the fame of
muffler falling off
a
Ford Ranger.
truck and him picking it up with Crocs in the middle of the road. of many other stories that probably have not been mentioned on this podcast, but I think he can relate a little more because his first car reminds me of your first car. So yours was the 86
Pontiac 6000, which was it basically looked like a Bonneville, but it was a little bit smaller and not as not as luxurious, I guess.
Right.
It was kind of the mid-level sedan of the day.
Yeah. So Chris, what did you drive for your very first car?
Well, thanks, Kyle. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
we got you.
So my first car was, by the way, first time, long time.
Oh,
right?
appreciate
it.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's long time caller, first time listener.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, my first car was a 1991 Buick LeSabre.
Okay. Yeah.
Very similar, right?
Yeah.
And of course, we all notoriously called it the Party Buick. It was a great time. I was also quite fond of the '99 Cavalier with the bra. I remember.
So you've seen the Cavalier in person?
Oh
no
yeah,
doubt.
yeah. I was there the day that the bra went on. I wasn't part of the install. I just came over later and said, "What in the H is this?"
So was that to cover up rust? I forgot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was getting noticeable, and I didn't want to fix it. So you slap that beautiful bra on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's so in terms of, so we're looking at 10 to 15 from 2035. So we're looking at a
2024 ish. I mean, that would be an 11-year-old car. What age do people get their driver's license here in Michigan?
16.
16.
Permit
okay.
14. Get your license at 16.
So yeah, then 2035 she'll have her driver's license,
mm-hmm.
but she'll start driving in 2033, 2034 on a permit.
Mm-hmm.
So I need something that's crazy to think that the first car she'll be driving is probably still 5 to 10 years away from being manufactured.
Right. Man, I'm trying to figure out what that, because if you ask me, it went from, at least in our school, in our area, it was everybody had a late 80s, early 90s, like Beretta.
Yeah, for us, it was, I think I talked about this when we were on with Tony on his podcast.
Yes, last week where they asked us about our first cars.
For me, everyone at that time in 97, 98, 99, everyone had mid to late 80s Pontiac Grand Prix, Grand Am, Bonneville, or 6000.
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably 90% of our parking lot at high school.
So what is that going to be in a few years? Like the kind of car that's going to last forever?
I think some
age gracefully.
Or like the car that you used to have, your previous car, the Ford, was it a Fusion?
Yeah, that's actually not. No, and the Chevy version of that, the Cruze, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty good options. I can see those being around in 15 years. Because
maybe like the cute Utes, like the little sport utility vehicles, like the Jeep Renegade.
Yeah,
that's kind of like the little boxy looking.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, after like the Beretta thing, I felt like we saw a lot of those big bubble top Tauruses.
Yeah,
you still see some out there, but those last forever. So what is that next car? I think we're on the right track with like the Ford Fusion. That mid-size sedan.
Just kind of that car that blends in with every other car. It's not really, there's not a whole lot to differentiate it between the all the other manufacturers.
So what we're saying is that none of that's going to happen for Evelyn. Because when she walks outside in her dress she had to go buy special for her sweet 16 birthday.
Right, so she 2035.
All her friends are here from high school. She's embarrassed by mom and dad now because that's the age.
Yeah. So, and I toss her the keys, which is important to note. Most cars, I'm assuming, there won't be key.
Right.
Keys
are already going away.
Yeah, most cars now, new car, it just has the key fob. And as long as you're within range, it starts and drives. But I will be tossing her the keys.
Yeah.
The actual keys.
Her heart's going to start racing as she sees a physical key come her way. Because now she's starting to understand.
Now she's starting to realize, what the hell is that thing?
Yeah.
And she realizes she's now the proud owner, the proud driver. Because I will not be giving.
You're not changing name and title.
No.
This is staying in Dad's name.
Of a 47-year-old vehicle.
But fully refurbished.
Yeah.
Right? As good as it was back in 1980, whatever. 88. She'll get to drive up to 2 of her friends anywhere they want to go.
As long as they are like slenderly built friends.
Yeah. And that second friend's going to have to be real comfortable with her hand in between their legs so she can shift.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she'll be able to take 1.5 of her finest friends to school, from school.
We'll just stick one of those caps on the back.
2035 will be at a point where she's going to actually have to drive out of her way to find a gas station.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That she'll be able to even fill up at, as all of her friends,
driving Teslas,
throw slushies out their windows, but she can't hear them because it's the electric car driving past her. As she flips on the old Comanche and a pop of smoke flies out the back.
Pops in her Milli Vanilli cassette tape.
Yep, because again, only a cassette deck. It's a cassette deck in there, right?
That's a good question. I don't even know. I've sat in the thing twice.
The electric car is well gone as she's cranking down her hand-powered window.
Yeah.
Well,
just the driver's side. The passenger side one doesn't really work that great.
To yell at them, "I'll get you yet!"
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's going to grow into a very nice young lady.
Mm-hmm.
Very happy.
Very well adjusted.
What could go wrong? Hey, I mentioned it to you last week. I got distracted with why I even brought it up, but I mentioned, it's the spooky season now.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, by the way, you've done this in the past. You got any of the big Radio Man hits coming out where you got, you get to go out to a haunted attraction, and you
me personally, no,
you don't have one.
No,
you did one last year, right?
I do not. We did. Yeah, we did one last year because it was like the haunted maze, corn maze.
Yeah. Middle of COVID, smart.
It was that one was.
I believe that's the one we did last night, by the way.
Oh, okay.
We went to one last night.
The one north of here?
Yes.
Yeah.
It
was really good
very
last
good.
year.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah, it was a weird experience because everyone obviously masked up and it was just very strange.
It's different.
But it was a good time.
I saw it again, roll it in this morning. So it's been up for a little over a week, at least a week now.
Oh.
The house.
At least 2 weeks.
The house that's on kind of the main drive into your neighborhood here.
Yeah.
That can only be described as the Halloween vomit house.
I am shocked that was your reaction to it.
Yeah.
Because your Halloween is tier 1.
Yeah, it is. It's right
holiday.
behind. It's Christmas and Halloween. Thanksgiving's tier 2. That's
tier 4.
maybe
tier 4.
Thanksgiving? I agree.
No.
Oh, Halloween.
Oh,
wow.
Maybe tier 4. Probably tier 5. I mean, I'm putting Labor Day. Labor Day is at least tier 3. Memorial Day tier 1. Obviously, it's kickoff to summer.
He raves about the work the unions did for us.
You know what I do? The one thing I enjoy about Labor Day, 1, the day off, and 2 is the people that confuse Labor Day, the meaning behind Labor Day with the meaning behind Memorial Day.
Yeah, the posts of like, thank you soldiers for your service and your sacrifice.
Or they show that a friend of mine, I had to tell him like, hey man, you got this wrong because a couple of years ago he posted a picture that you've seen a bunch of times where it's the back of a military cargo aircraft, and it has coffins in it that are draped with flags, and it says like, the next time you think this is all about a 3-day weekend, which Memorial Day, very appropriate.
Sure.
Labor Day, not so much.
Yeah. It's that picture of the coffins in the C-130. The other picture that it could be a stock photo, because I would be very offended if somebody took my photo while this was happening. It's always like a young woman in like a long white dress, but she's kind of laying on her side with a blanket in front of a headstone.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, not Labor Day. I think you missed it a little bit.
Yeah, missed the mark on that. Again, Memorial Day, very appropriate.
Right.
Labor Day, that's not really what Labor Day is about.
Right.
Yeah.
But
the struggle of the unions.
Yeah, the Halloween vomit house.
I can't believe that. I said to Annette, I said, you won't believe it, but Kyle thinks that the house down the street with all the decorations is too much. She's like, didn't he have a haunted house in his garage a couple of years ago?
Yeah. Listen, that was for one night, by the way, on Halloween while trick-or-treaters were coming by. I should clarify, I don't have a problem with this. It just, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay?
There are some inconsistencies.
Well, you got, like, Darth Vader pooping on a toilet is one of the inflatables. He's like,
is it really?
There's some character sitting on the John. And it's like 10 feet tall. And then you've got a minion.
Yeah, there's a minion.
With like a trick-or-treat bucket. And then 3 spiders. Beetlejuice. And then it's just like they just bought things they like, which is fine.
There is also, they have the pink flamingos. Like little pink flamingos.
Oh, like yep.
And then there are skeletons riding on the pink flamingos.
I did see the skeleton. I didn't see the pink flamingos.
Yeah.
But it's just like over the years they've gone around. Hey, this is hey, Darth Vader's just sitting on the toilet.
Man, I'm gonna have to pay more attention because there's a lot going on.
There's too
probably
much going on.
Probably between 20 and 25 different.
Yeah, it's very involved.
Inflatables and other setups there. But yeah, I haven't seen Darth Vader sitting on the John, as you put it.
He's there.
Do me a favor when you guys leave here.
Yeah.
Snap a picture of it.
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't inflated yet this morning.
I'm sure it will be
in
by
weeks
the time.
past. It has been up when I've come here. It was a little bit earlier this morning, so I'm hoping on the way out I can slow down and maybe get a picture.
Because I know that I've definitely seen the Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't realize.
Maybe it isn't Darth. There's some other character, a noticeable character.
I mean, it could be anything.
And maybe it's a new addition this
year. It could
year.
be Snoopy.
Right.
It could be Santa Claus. Who knows? They got everything else going on in that lawn.
It might be a new addition this year.
Okay.
Because that's the way you do it. You start at, you have your collection, you add to it every year until inevitably they break down.
Well, you start out with a thematically concise collection. You got all from the same family.
Right.
Of characters. But yeah, then that one seems like it's slowly evolved over time.
Yeah,
each year it gets bigger.
Eventually I'll try to snap a photo of the whole setup, but we'll need to figure out a way to display that without getting any information out into the internet about them, their location and the neighborhood. That's not very fair. So I think
I'm still surprised though. I thought for sure that this would be something you'd be on board with.
Yeah, and I don't mind it. I'm okay with it. I
don't know. I think by calling it the Halloween Vomit House,
but
that probably shows that you do mind it just a little.
But it's not like a graveyard scene, right? Or what other horror tropes or that they have that you could set up? Like, hey, it's not the cemetery. It's not the. It's not like an insane asylum set up outside, or hey, a zombie invasion going on in the yard. No, it's a minion. It's Darth Vader. There's a Frankenstein. There's flamingos.
It's like at Christmas when you see somebody has a nativity scene set up on the front lawn, but then in the background there's Homer dressed as Santa.
Yeah,
it's like
it doesn't really fit.
Yeah.
Now
pick a theme and stick with it.
Where are you going to fall? Because you're going from. In a few months, very short months, you're going to be going from a very light, traditional Christmas decor in this house.
Yeah, some lights around the front door, front window, a wreath.
Yep.
Candles in the windows.
Yep.
White lights. Wrapped kind of like candy cane looking around the front pillars.
To now 400 plus feet of lights.
Yeah. That's pretty great, isn't it?
Are you going... Is this the descent into... Because we've also talked about we want to get you a Santa and reindeer for the roof.
Right.
Yeah. That's one of the next steps is Santa and the 8 reindeer for one of your rooftops.
Mm-hmm.
Is this your descent, though, into, hey, Evelyn really likes PJ Masks. So you're going to be getting one of the PJ Mask characters dressed up as an elf. Boom, front yard.
I don't. Well, first of all, I don't know what PJ Masks is.
Right, just another, just
sure
any kids
I'm sure that
program,
I'm
right?
Yeah, within a year, I'll be very familiar. For Christmas, possibly. I don't ever see myself being a big Halloween decoration guy.
Yeah, you're either into Halloween or you're not.
I mean, it's. I think that as I get older, I will enjoy it more because my daughter will go out trick or treating.
Well, I mean, you don't have a long way to go backward from where you are currently, which is turn off the light. And,
hide in the basement.
Hide in the basement.
Eat a pizza. Yeah.
And then offer me to come out and hand out candy that I would provide to your neighborhood. While you hide in the basement.
While we hide in the basement. Last year, we seriously sat in the basement, ate pizza with all the upstairs lights off, and then I needed to dispose of the pizza box. I don't know why I couldn't just wait until
you could just leave it on the counter. Like, you have no room in the house, so I couldn't possibly leave this on the table.
No, but I snuck out the back door and went Mission Impossible style around the side of the house to drop it into the garbage can.
Like, if you dared walk out the front door, a kid's going to see you and charge you for
Get him!
candy.
He's got Snickers!
Your last bite of pizza in your mouth. You get caught looking like Sasquatch got caught in the Patterson-Gimlin film.
Now, when you were a kid, when you trick-or-treated, did you trick-or-treat on Halloween?
Yeah.
Why is it not? Why is that not the case anymore?
Don't even get me started.
We've probably talked about this every single year of this podcast, but I was on the local community Facebook page.
Unbelievable.
And it's, hey, what night is trick-or-treating this year? Yeah. And I'm like, what do you mean? That's like saying, what night are you celebrating Christmas this year? Like, trick-or-treating's on Halloween.
Yeah, the 31st of October.
If it's on a Thursday, trick-or-treating's on a Thursday.
Yeah, it is what it... Part of the...
If it's on a Monday, trick-or-treating's on a Monday.
Mm-hmm. Part of the experience of trick-or-treating as a kid, if you ask me, is those mandatory weekday trick-or-treating.
Yeah. Shows who's committed.
You know, going to school the next day, tired.
That's how you trade candy.
Still damp from the night before because it's always raining.
Yeah.
Loaded, just stories and bags of candy to go in there and say, hey, who wants my, old Rutherford?
Is that another?
I don't know. I feel like that's a candy, isn't it?
No, it's O-L apostrophe.
Yeah.
Not old. Old Rutherfords.
Yeah, someone came out with it probably right after Rutherford B. Hayes.
So the old Rutherford is named after Rutherford B. Hayes.
Okay, turns out there's no old Rutherford.
There is now, and it's part of the Steve and Kyle podcast Candy Cooperative.
Yes. Oh, man, Zach, our good friend Zach, if you can get on designing us the old Rutherford.
Yeah, with a nod to Rutherford B. Hayes on the label. Jesus, man. You need to have a second career just coming up because I believe that you were the originator of the Lucky Billy bar.
Oh, I don't remember. I refuse to take credit for that, not knowing that was a, as the company states, a candy confectionery cooperative.
Yeah.
Movement.
So it'll be in the annals of history. It will be known as a team effort. But if we want to get real specific, I'm pretty sure I want to give you credit for that.
But you'd be going into school.
For instance, I like chocolate candy, peanut butter. I like all of the really sweets.
So you're looking to give away the sours and things?
The sours, like the sweet tarts and the gummy bears and stuff like that. Yeah. Anything fruity, they're fine, but I'd prefer the chocolate.
Yeah.
But so I'd bring in, I'd stuff my pockets with like 50 pieces of candy I didn't want. Go in and you sit at the lunch table like, all right, what do you got? I'll give you 2 of these for 1 of those. And of course the king, the supreme, was the Reese's peanut butter cup. I mean, those things, the value of them is astronomical.
Yeah, those are top tier for me. It was that. It's the Kit Kat.
Yeah.
And again, you're handing out any type of thing. Anytime you'd see whatever marshmallow, if there's going to be marshmallow in it, that's probably going to be a trade piece.
Yeah. Now, but man, you got your Almond Joys. Oh, I'll take as many of them as you can give me.
You know my opinion.
Yeah.
Keep your nuts away from my candy. With just a hint
Oh, my God.
of pretzel.
Can we make a digression here for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
I was at the store the other night. I had to run out. Needed something last minute for dinner. Into the store, grabbed the 2 items I needed. I'm standing in the checkout line, and I look to the side. I think we might have a lawsuit on our hands.
Ooh.
Because there was a candy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know specifically if it said just a touch of pretzel,
Oh, no.
but it might have said just a hint of pretzel.
Are you serious?
The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, you can now get with pretzel, like infused into it. Have you had one of these, Chris? You're nodding.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm okay with the idea. One, because we're going to lose any lawsuit to Reese's.
I don't know.
But I'm not okay with
we got
that.
2 candy bars that says we got some.
But I am
power.
not okay with that wording.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to pull up Reese's stuffed with pretzels, like images.
See, I wouldn't say stuffed. It specifically said that.
Oh, yeah, that's just the store description.
Okay.
This shows Reese's big cup with pretzels.
That was it.
Okay,
That
so
was
this
it. It
doesn't
was
say-
the individual cup, but probably 2 to 3 times the depth of a regular cup.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything mentioning a hint.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm just picking a fight then.
Miniature cup with pretzels, dipped pretzels, king size. You know what?
Close enough.
I think Big Candy's escaped us. Keep your eyes out, folks.
Yeah.
Because if
You
you,
see
happen
any,
to
you see any candy
yeah,
that's knocking off the Lucky Billy bar.
Steve and I are very litigious nowadays. Very litigious, looking to make a quick buck.
Have you seen a Lucky Billy in person?
Lucky Billy in person.
This has just been such a magical morning, and now to be holding the Lucky Billy bar.
One
I
of
don't
2.
know what to even do.
One of 2.
Soon to be millions.
I love Billy. Billy's
Still the highlight of that candy bar. Yeah. That designed by our good friend Zach Ruddock. Thank you very much, Zach. Steve, I don't know where we're at on time, but I wanted to bring Chris in here because
we're at about. Well, it depends on which clock you look at. This one says 36. This one says 34.
he blasted me this morning. I opened my garage door and he's standing out there, and there was as the garage door is going up, I see what I feel like was 2 hands facing me, like a stop sign already. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, oh God, what do we got?
You already got my attention. You're talking about garage doors.
That's one you installed. Beautiful, by the way.
Perfect.
Holding up, works great, up and down every single time. Hasn't not gone up or down once.
Hey, I appreciate the
100% success rate.
knock on wood.
So, the garage door starts opening. I see 2 hands, and then I'm blasted with show prep. More show prep, Steve,
Okay.
than you and I have done in 280 whatever episodes of this podcast. Yeah. And I tried to nip it in the bud early and say, listen, hold it. It's not going to happen today anyway. Whatever suggestion you have, I can guarantee you is not going to happen today. Partially out of steadfastness, partially out of, being bullheaded.
Yeah, plus we're a little pressed for time today.
Yep. We're on the clock, and we had so much planned already. Like RC car talk.
Yeah, the origin of Blazing Trails.
Yep, Blazing Trails. And then,
the old Rutherford.
The old Rutherford candy. Again, the old Rutherford.
Is that on the poll, by the way?
It is. Okay. Is the old Rutherford? Is there an old Rutherford candy? I mean, I don't have any design ideas for it. I'm trying to figure out what a candy. There's got to be, if it's going to be fashioned after the Rutherford B. Hayes era, there has to be molasses in it.
Yeah,
there has to be.
It's funny you say that because I was thinking just the name reminds me. It's going to kind of have the look and the packaging of a Mary Jane.
Oh, okay.
It's like that waxy paper.
Yeah, it's that paper that is today horribly inefficient and cost ineffective.
Yeah.
But they're still using it to say, hey, we've been, same manufacturing since Rutherford B. Hayes.
As if that is a particular point in time where everybody references and we say, of course, the wax paper.
As everybody knows, Rutherford B. Hayes, 19th president.
Yeah, of course.
From 1887 through 1881.
Some call him the glory days.
A lot of people would. Yeah. He is a staunch abolitionist, though, Steve. So good for old Rutherford. But yeah, there's molasses in it.
Yeah.
And that wax paper. So Zach,
probably something like, It's like molasses and pine nuts or something.
Oh, yeah. Something like the candy is horrific. And you can only find it in specialty candy shops, right?
The only place you can find it is in a place that's called like Ye Old Confectionery Co.
Yeah. And it's at the Rutherford B. Hayes Museum.
Presidential Museum.
Yeah. Which, boy, you think there's one of those? Is that
I thought every president had a presidential
museum.
museum.
Yeah, but I don't know when that started.
Let's hope it started pre-RBH.
Because did we just get of course there's a presidential library and museum, Steve.
Where's it at?
It's not that far away.
Where's he from?
I don't know if this is where he's from. Built in 1916.
Okay.
It's the former estate of President Rutherford B. Hayes, featuring home tours, a library, museum, and where the old man's buried. It is in Fremont, Ohio, Steve.
Oh, boy.
Fremont, Ohio. So anytime we hear one of those states that's bordering.
Oh, I'm excited.
Let me do a...
How far is that from Van Wert? We could stop for a reunion.
Oh, my God. And Convoy, obviously. Steve.
How many hours?
Could be there in 3 hours and 25 minutes. Now,
if you didn't have that wedding today,
we'd be there. Yeah, I'd be there in 3 hours and 26 minutes.
Is it safe to say? Is it safe to say that this fall we'll be traveling to Fremont, Ohio, to the presidential home of RBH, Rutherford B. Hayes, the 19th president of these great United States?
Wait till we tell our wives, the family, the big trip we've got planned. They're going to be so jealous.
Oh, I'm sure that this one they'll probably be chomping at the bit to go.
Yeah, I mean,
Van Wert not so much because it was very self-serving.
Yeah,
it's just us looking at pictures of us.
So if we want the round trip full tour from where we are to the Rutherford B. Hayes Presidential Library and Museum, with a quick stopover in Van Wert, Ohio, all the way back home, it's a mere round trip of 545 miles and 8.5 hours drive time. So
I'm okay with it. I would do it.
If we were to cut Van Wert, we're saving ourselves an hour and 20 minutes total.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not worth it to cut it out.
Right. I think we do it. We'll blast from the past.
Yeah. Leave here at like 5 a.m.
Of course. Wake up the kids. Pack them in the car. Hey,
yeah.
Guys want to go learn RBH? All right. Go back to sleep for 3 hours and 25 minutes, then I'll wake you up. Staunch abolitionist. Just remember that.
By the way, I need to know, I need an update.
Yeah.
Are we going to see Rad next week? Are you in?
I can't.
Are you lying to me right now?
I'm not lying to you. I cannot.
You're not making eye contact with me. It makes me think you're lying.
I cannot do it. I mentioned...
It really makes me really question whether you're lying or not.
No, I cannot make it. My wife has... This weekend, next week are the...
Chris, is he lying to me? He's lying.
Well, no, actually, not this weekend, next week. This week, when this episode's being released, is the busiest week of my wife's schooling for her master's degree. She is doing what's called a residency, Steve, where it is about 4 days.
Have you told her it's the 35th anniversary of Rad?
Only comes around once. Do you think they're going to do a 40? How are ticket sales? Because you sent me a screenshot. Now, granted, it was relatively early in the process, but you sent me a screenshot that was not very invigorating for the hopes of a 40th anniversary airing happening.
Surprising when you type in Rad Lansing.
Yeah, you're not getting much.
Lansing Radiator and Repair. Rad Questionnaire.
You might have to go to the event page.
Yeah, I know.
Here it is.
What do you got?
The local mall. Gotta pull up. That's on Thursday. Oh, look at that. Boy, you're going up against a couple good movies. There it is. 7 p.m. 2D, they clarify. So now to upscale it to 3D. So let me...
I got tickets?
Let me just $12.50 a ticket. You got to be out of your mind.
At least I'm saving some money if you're not going.
Let me see. Plenty of good seats available.
Can I get myself some distance between some people?
Yep.
I don't want to socially distance.
Be on the safe side.
25,
27, 33. You know what? Honestly, more than I thought have been sold. About 45 tickets have been sold.
Okay, in a theater that probably seats, 200?
I'm guessing it looks about, we're definitely under half capacity here. Plenty of good seats available. Plenty of space between you and the person next to you, if that's what you so desire.
Well, Tony in Lansing said he'd go with me.
He did. I would make this happen if I could, but this week is very, very unpleasant for us in terms of being able to make that happen.
35th anniversary.
Are we sure that's
only comes around once?
I don't want to be.
What if Bill Allen himself is there?
It came out in March 1986.
Yeah.
Why are we doing it in October?
Yeah, we are about 6 months late.
Did they forget?
I'm assuming it's been going on since March.
What do you think the odds are that Bill Allen called the company himself, said, "Hey guys, it's 35. You need to pop this thing back into theaters and make us all a few quick bucks."
Let's see. Where is... I'm trying to find out if there's a chance that Bill Allen will be there. It's from Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah, let me nip that in the bud. No. Well, actually, you know what? I shouldn't say that, because what I paid him to say happy birthday to you on Cameo makes it seem like he might be available for these type of events at a reasonable rate, nonetheless.
Where is Bill Allen Rad from?
Wait a minute.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know he's from Wichita. Where's he live now, though?
Oh, as part of the celebration, fans can also check out the documentary, a rad documentary, inside the BMX movie that changed everything. For the very first time, we'll feature never-before-seen interviews with cast and crew and behind-the-scenes footage. I don't know if that's the same night, but it's a weeknight. Maybe wrap that up.
I think I'm going to go to it.
Are you really going to do that?
I think so. I should be back here by 10:30 or so.
Yeah. Yeah, it just makes your Friday your Friday morning a little...
That's fine.
...less pleasant than normal,
but it's still worth it. Look, some of us are willing to...
But is it, though? Because...
Some of us are willing to make sacrifices to feel the glory of 1986 all over again.
While the film only earned a dismal $2 million worldwide back in 1986...
Does it actually say dismal?
It does say dismal. Rad would later become a cult classic among fans. But I feel like that's just what people say about crappy movies.
About bad movies, yeah. Like, nobody really likes Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right. People like the sing-along facet of that, but I think they all understand that it sucks.
Yeah.
And I'll put that on the poll as well. Does Rocky Horror Picture Show actually suck?
Maybe we do what's better, Rocky Horror Picture Show or Rad, and then the answers are yes, no. That's our style on polls.
But sorry, and this happens.
We digress.
I wanted to bring Chris in because where I left you, about 12 minutes ago before we started talking about Rad.
So you're out for Rad.
I'm out for Rad.
Okay. If anyone out there, now this is coming out Tuesday, just 2 days before.
Yeah. If you want to meet.
If you want to meet up.
Big meet and greet.
I'm going to be the guy wearing a Rad Racing t-shirt and Rad shoes because I legitimately have a pair of shoes from the movie Rad.
Yeah, those were sent to you, right? By a listener?
They were sent to me by, I believe it was Jeb in Nashville.
How do you think that would have gone had you bought those with your own money in this house?
I roll.
Still going on.
Yeah.
However many months you would have had those shoes. I think I'm experiencing that a little bit myself. I bought myself, and I can't believe we're doing this again, digressing. I bought myself.
Really, you can't believe it.
I bought myself some novelty shoes a week ago.
What'd you get?
That arrived this week. No, I don't have. I've never had a pair of Vans. Now Vans are pretty distinct in how they look.
Yeah,
it's those very low top.
Yeah, skate shoe.
Right, and I don't know if you know me, not a skater.
Really?
Yep, never been on a skateboard.
Get out.
Fruit booted back in the day. Think everybody did?
Everyone did. Yeah, of course. I fruit booted until there was like a line in the sand. It was like, look, you got to make a decision.
Yeah.
You into BMX or you into fruit booting?
Yeah. It was that generation's skier or snowboarder.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you did one, you were gay.
Yeah,
obviously.
Right. That's the only outcome.
Yeah.
Only possible outcome.
Yeah.
So I bought myself some novelty vans that they released.
Okay, what do you got?
They released a specialty line of Vans horror merch.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought myself some Stephen King Vans shoes that I received and like jumped up and down giddily in my kitchen and promptly realized, oh, I'm never going to wear these because it's got lettering on, I don't know what part of the shoe you'd call that. The side of it, right?
Yeah, red rum.
Nope, that's it. That's
okay.
The Shining.
Yeah, this popped up. Oh, okay.
But it's that same line.
So they have a whole series.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
And I don't want to get them dirty.
Wait, which ones?
So I've now become that guy.
Oh wow, they have a lot. These are cool.
They had Friday the 13th.
Yeah, these are
really cool. If you're into horror movies, if that's your thing.
Oh, the balloon one? Was that it? No, it wasn't.
If you're into horror movie or horror merchandise, things like that, they have Friday the 13th. They have some Exorcist.
Those Shining ones are cool.
The Shining ones are very cool. Hot take: The Shining sucked.
Really? Not a fan, huh?
Even the shoe I picked. The Stanley Kubrick the movie version. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. But yeah, I realized, Steve. I'm like, how often have you worn your rad shoes?
Very limited. 2-3 times.
Right? Because
Well, I mean, they're bright red. Okay. So it was the option of bright red, which if you've seen the movie Red, that's the iconic jersey that Crew Jones wore in the movie. He had a bright red Rad Racing jersey. So you kind of have to go with red. But they also had, I think blue and black and yellow. But I didn't want them. I wanted to be authentic. But in doing so, I also limit myself to the amount of times I can wear them.
Yeah, so those are the ones
cool.
I got.
Those are cool.
But like I said, I received them, and now I'm thinking, well, I could never wear these, or I never will because I don't want to get the white on the sides dirty because there's wording on the top on the side of them.
So naturally, you're just gonna start skateboarding now.
I should sell them. Apparently, they're sold out. So.
What'd you pay for them?
Well, about half as much as I'm going to sell them for. I'll tell you that much. But
so if anybody wants to buy them,
double whatever they were on here. I don't remember because I can't see now. It says out of stock. So, but anyway,
sounds like a payday.
That's right. Thank you. Cha-ching. But anyway, we digress. As I left you, Chris had two hands and ideas, and that's a bad sign for me. So I'm going to turn the microphone to him because I do think this is a good idea. Not for today like he wanted.
Yeah, again, we're right up against it.
We're up against the clock. We're leaving in 3 minutes. So, Chris, you got 3 minutes minus however long I continue talking. I think this is a good idea for an upcoming. We have another anniversary coming up in a few months, right? 300 coming up soon.
Yeah, it'll be. I think we're 286 today. So.
Okay, I think we have more than enough time to plan this for 300.
Okay, because we blew right past. We were going to do something at 200.
Yeah.
Right on through.
And there's some things here.
I think we thought about 250 as well.
Yes. Yep. 275. We didn't even remember. So
nobody celebrates 275.
So Chris is a longtime listener in terms of, I think he's heard everything.
Yeah.
So this idea for 300, I think we do this for 300, Steve.
Okay.
And I'll let Chris get the idea out there, and I'll see what you can think. And then you and I will tweak it to make it not suck.
So we have... because... So we have roughly 13 weeks or so to throw this all together.
Yeah, but I think this would be a nice throwback to our history as a podcast as we hit episode 300.
All right, let's hear it, Chris.
Thanks, Kyle. And as, of course, everybody here knows, Youpers are professionals. And so I want to defend myself a little bit with this show prep.
Youpers, by the way, for those not familiar, are people that reside in the Upper Peninsula, the UP.
Mongrels.
Yeah, mongrels.
I feel like I've gotten a little bit of a bad rap on this podcast. And maybe have done a disservice to Youpers in general. And so maybe you guys owe this to me. Although I won't get too far down that path here. So
Was it the Crocs on the hands of the muffler that did the bad thing?
I should mention that was not the only time I have used my shoes to pick up a muffler that fell off my car.
Of course not. You're from the UP, or you live in the UP. And by the way, I just assumed that where you live is very similar to where they found the Unabomber. Middle of nowhere,
not far off.
Nothing but trees. Little, like, you make your coffee on a little, like a wood-fired stove, no doubt.
Yeah, I think you're pretty close there. I mean, you know, I've been adjusting my bunny ears, listening to you guys for almost 5 years. Well, a little over 5 years now, right? A little over 5 years since 2016.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I've enjoyed every crackly minute of it. You know, we're hoping for the internet pretty soon here. But I
appreciate that you've gone to that extent to pick us up.
Speaking of professional courtesy here, I think we need a show intro, Steve. I think we missed that. What's the date today?
Oh, by the way, yeah, it is. Thank you very much. It is Saturday, October 9th, 2021, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Okay.
But we digress.
Anyway, so I have this idea, right? 300 coming up, although I wanted to do it today.
Yeah.
I think the Stephen Pyle Codcast needs desperately.
Shout out to Timmy.
A fan service episode where you spend the entire episode revisiting all of the awesome bits from over the years, and I've written some down.
Oh, good.
Because like I said, I was up all night.
We don't have anything.
Like I mentioned to Kyle, I was up all night thinking this through.
Okay.
So here we go. I got a list of a few of them, and maybe we let the listeners come up with a few more, right, of favorite bits. But I've got I've got my favorites here. So of course the Fast Five, right?
Yep.
And you can't just say you're going to get to it and not get to it. I think you got to squeeze it in there.
History of that.
Kyle's gripe of the week.
He's mad.
How about 2 minutes of awkward conversation, of course, which you still owe me a call, by the way, but maybe this counts for it.
You're on top of
on the list.
I think we need a good Steve throat noise.
Okay, not a problem.
Yeah, don't worry.
This might be a little unusual, but we definitely need viewer mail time, right? Or listener mail time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we would need someone to send us anything. An email.
Well, you could hold whatever package you get from now until then, right? So sometime in the next 13 weeks.
I hope it's not a perishable.
Of course, we need to go into a deep dive on APS 4.0 architecting. Kenny Rogers' fact of the week.
R.I.P. Or is he?
Yeah. Well, the fact of the week, R.I.P. Not.
Not dead. Now, didn't we finally determine that he was? I thought we killed the bit with, maybe he's dead.
So I've been looking at this picture. He's been staring at me all morning. I've been really enjoying it, so that's why that one was added. How about a sports Tate sample?
You know, it's been a while.
Big deep dive.
When was the last time you did a sports Tate?
2 years.
It was pre.
It was definitely pre-COVID.
Was it? I thought it was during COVID.
Anyway. So it's been a while since you've had a podcast snacks and candy, and I'm glad we, went in that direction a little bit here today. But podcast snacks.
That is the reason that my wife not only stopped listening, but unsubscribed from the podcast because we would eat while recording.
It's like an extra step. Like, you know what? I'm just not going to listen to today.
Yeah.
But then she kept walking around, stewed on it. You know what?
Yeah.
F those guys. And clicked unfollow.
To be honest,
by the way, Kyle and Chris are sharing a mic. That's why it sounds like...
Sorry. I could lean a little better. But, yeah.
Then we'd be breathing on each other.
Yeah.
So, where was I here? One of my personal favorite bits is when you guys deep dive a Facebook marketplace interaction, right? So
all right.
You're going to have to sell something whether you need to or not.
Don't worry.
In the next 13 weeks.
Always in the process.
Okay, good. We need to talk about Steve's lawn, which, looks very acceptable by UP standards right now.
Yeah. I'd be the UP lawn king.
Oh, yeah. It's not too late to
But this is going to be a long episode.
Okay. I'll hurry up here.
No. I mean the episode that you're...
You need 300.
Yeah, the 300 episode.
We need another 3-hour job.
Oh, God, no.
Kyle, do you need to hurt something in your
Break
leg?
a leg, yeah.
Heart, leg are gone. So.
All right, where were we? I want lots of Stephen Pyle Cod Pass clip because that was by far my favorite episode in the entire history.
That was our good friend Timmy.
Thanks, Timmy. In the Zach update, right? Something happening here in the Zach.
Things are good. Things are good in the Zach.
Cheers trivia.
Oh, I found the trivia cards when I was cleaning out the APS 4.0 last week. By the way, big updates in there. Big updates. We got wiring. There's going to be power in there by the next time you're here. Lights and all.
Next step recording.
But the next time I'm here or the next time Kyle's here?
Next time Kyle's here, there will be power in there.
Okay, where were we? Cheers trivia. We need a good solid argument over which bridge type is best.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, speaking of show prep, Boyne City, which is a city here in Michigan, is going to build the world's longest wooden tower suspension bridge. And I think...
Wait, wooden tower suspension? Have we found common ground?
That's why I brought it up. This is important. I think we need to lobby the Boyne City people and make sure that suspension bridge is also a covered wooden bridge, right?
Well, look, I'm okay with a wooden suspension bridge.
Okay.
I'm willing to bend a bit on my argument. What about you?
I'm looking at pictures right now. Give me a moment.
Look, I'm extending a hand.
Yeah.
This hand could be described as one half of a bridge.
Yeah, and
I'm looking to meet your hand halfway across.
What us suspension bridgers think of that hand across is that it's
on the hands down,
possibly termite ridden and shoddily built. Okay, I'm looking at pictures.
Look, the wooden bridge has its limitations. Yes.
So are we assuming is the actual bridge wood, or is it just the
towers?
I think it's a covered wooden bridge suspension, right? Doesn't it look like you can walk down the middle of that?
Yeah, I'm assuming you can walk down the middle.
I would hope that you could at least walk. I mean, it is a bridge.
Chairlift to the top of the mountain, then you walk a 1,200 foot, 118 foot high pedestrian bridge, open year round. Opening date is June. No other real details. Steve?
It's a covered suspension bridge made of wood.
Steve? To be determined. I'm going to need more info.
I need to find that. I need to see a picture of
just type in Boyne Mountain Timber Bridge is what they're referring to it as. Timber Towered Suspension Bridge. So I don't know how we would refer to this because the bridge itself appears to be suspension. The towers are wood. So...
Oh, that's a nice looking bridge.
It does look kind of nice, doesn't it? You know what? Steve?
Huh?
Maybe.
TBD. Huh? But I like that. I like the arches.
Are we going to walk this?
How far is Boyne City from here?
3 hours.
Can't we find anything that's like within a half hour?
No kidding, right? Do we not have anything within,
everything that we want to do is 3 hours away.
Tri-County, yeah. I guess it's better that it's 3 hours away than, across the country. But, hey, just be lucky. We found the RBH Museum 3 hours away. Same distance.
We're going there, by the way. That's happening.
We're going to the RBH, yeah. And
that sounds like a fall activity.
And we need some semblance of a design for that old, because we need merch with it, so you and I can wear,
the old
Rutherford on our shirt as we walk into the museum and have so many.
Maybe we go there and we pitch them on the candy
because
we pitch them for a partnership.
Yes, because if it's like national parks or park rangers or whatever, they're super knowledgeable. They know everything about the park or the person, the museum they're working at. So if you and I walk in with a shirt, with a little candy with twisted on the ends, right?
The wax paper.
The old Rutherford, we're going to get some questions from the employees at the RBH Museum because they're going to say, "Hey, I didn't know Rutherford had a candy," and you're going to say, "Well, he could."
Let me tell you a little bit about the old Rutherford.
You got molasses and pine nuts. We've never combined them either. But doesn't that scream 1880s? Sorry, though, Chris.
All right, back to but we digress.
Yeah, sure. And maybe I only have a few left here, which is why I think the listeners need to come up with a few more. I think we need a good deep dive into some Jeep stuff, right?
Yeah,
right? And I was kind of hoping we could do that today, but it seems like we might be a little out of time.
Well, we can at least take a peek on the way out the door.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Don't worry.
Very excited. And then maybe I'll end with this one. one of my personal favorites. Let's talk about the athleticism of Robert.
Hey.
I mean, the guy is a gazelle.
No.
I don't know. There might not be a faster man in the land.
By the way, apologies to Robert. We just lost him about 4 minutes ago.
Man, Robert, thank you.
At least he wasn't here for that.
Yeah, he doesn't get the JFK treatment this week.
Deserves it though.
Looking forward to 300. Thanks, guys.
All right, so by my math, it looks like 300 will land us right in about the second or third episode in January.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about it hitting, during the gift exchange. We don't have to worry about it hitting during the year in review week that we usually do. I think we make this happen, Steve.
Yeah.
And I think we line up a 2 minutes of awkward conversation. We do a fast five in the spirit of its origin, where it's word association, bang, bang, we're in and out.
Yep.
Because we've got... Now, Chris, you'll have to send me that list of all the...
That's the point. That is going to be a long, long episode. How about this?
All right.
For the 300th episode,
we
do a 300-minute long episode. 5 hours. What do you think?
Coming around on that bridge idea of yours.
So, maybe?
We would have to make... So you want to do a January streamathon for the charity that we skipped out on in July?
Yeah.
A January streamathon to celebrate 300.
A 300-minute long streamathon. I
mean, that really takes the idea about how you want to do it outside off the table.
Might be a little difficult. I mean, who knows? We could gather around a fire.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Sit outside in January for 5 hours.
Oh, you mean like an actual fire? I didn't know if you meant maybe start the fireplace we've had for years.
That is specifically why I put the certain wiring in there.
So we could
because of that. Yeah, because that one requires a little extra bump in power.
I think it's a good idea. I think 300 we can make that work.
5 hour episode.
I'm not agreeing to that. I think we can agree to
5 hours.
You would like this
we'll
less
call it
than
the
me.
Steve and Kyle podcast 300.
And we would start at 6 a.m. so we could still get done at the normal time.
Yeah, of course. Got to be done by 11.
Got to be done by 11. 6 a.m. start live stream.
6 a.m. on my deck in January.
Yep.
It's going to be pitch blackout for the first half of it.
Yeah, God, until 9 a.m.
Yeah.
You're going to get 2 hours of light, but it's okay. We'll be lit up by the bonfire that we have to continually stoke to last 5 hours time.
Yeah, exactly. I think this needs to happen.
I think we can make a fan service episode. That's a novel idea.
I like it a lot.
We always enjoy new show content ideas.
Do you want to get to a poll recap before we get out of here?
We can do that.
All right.
Time to see how wrong everyone else is. It's poll recap time. Find the polls at Steve and Kyle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thank you, Melissa.
Are there one-downers?
Definitely.
71% of the audience said yes. Still think, though, that we'd agree. Well, sorry, this question's coming up. We'll get to it then. Should Steve start going as Big Bacon Steve?
If this isn't our first 100% yes poll response.
82% of the audience, Steve, said yes. 18% of the audience doesn't get what we're doing here. Does it get any whiter than Papa Benjamin's? 71% of the audience said no. 29% of the audience doesn't get us. Would you prefer to be around a one-upper or a one-downer? A little closer than I thought here. 36% of the audience said one-upper. 64% of the audience said one-downer. But that means
one-downer.
More than a third. Well, I don't think in any case you want to be around a one-upper.
No.
It's an unpleasant... You never want to talk... You never want to tell any stories. You don't want to give any anecdotes about your life because you're just waiting for... hey, I just took this trip to wherever, New York City. Yeah, I just got back from Beijing.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thanks.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I think one-downer. I'd rather be around a one-downer.
But again, a one-downer just seems like you're constantly around an Eeyore.
Right, but you just hit them.
Last time I was in New York, my mom died. Jesus, Bill.
I wish I could go there, but I don't have a job.
Is Annette's Etsy shop just her slamming airplane-sized booze bottles to get away from Steve? 89% of the audience said yes.
Forgot about that one. That one stings.
Hasn't sold anything ever. Just like empty envelopes going in the mail.
Yeah. Yep, sold another one.
Boy, can't believe how successful I am.
Got to go back down to the basement.
Glug, glug. Does a rope ladder need some sway? Our friends on There Is a Better Podcast also agreed. 84% of the audience said yes.
Yeah, you need to be a little scared.
Yeah. Inherently a rope ladder, it cannot be as rigid as a regular ladder. It takes away the joy and the fear. Is Spam fish? Also, 89% of the audience said no.
Huh.
I can safely say, to my knowledge, never had Spam, Steve.
Yeah, me either.
That was all for the polls from last week. You can find those on Twitter at Steve and Kyle.
All right. I feel like we had one other thing that we needed to get to.
I don't think so.
But I don't think we have time, even if... to confirm, you're out for Rad.
Out on Rad.
Next week.
Out on Rad. I can only apologize, Steve. I can only apologize. I know 35 and 7 months only comes once. So hopefully I can be there for, 40 and 4 months.
Do you want me to, FaceTime you or something?
Nope. Busy.
Aim the camera.
Super busy Thursday night. Just in a million years couldn't think of finding the time.
Can you at least promise me one thing? You'll take that DVD right there and watch it. Like, I'll text you as the movie's starting. You hit play. So that way you can kind of live comment along with me.
No. Are you going to live tweet this thing?
I kind of want to.
You should get a seat in the far back row so you're not going to bother anybody with the light on your phone.
Yeah.
And live tweet the movie Rad.
But I kind of want to enjoy it, too.
Yeah, of course. Of course. How could you not? 1986's $2 million, quote-unquote, dismal failure, Rad, coming to a screen near you this week.
I need to make a decision and buy this ticket.
Yeah. Give me another few hours. I'll get back to you.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to try and move some pieces around?
Yeah. Give me a few hours.
Get rid of that kid of yours?
Give me a few hours. So you think... I think we can be back by 10:30. I think you're right.
Yeah,
You know what?
10:30.
Give me a few hours.
Oh, now I'm excited. Now I'm really
Yeah,
excited.
I just got word. Can't make it work.
Oh, Jesus. What if I buy you some shoes? I'll buy you some Rad shoes.
Now you've got my attention. No, I'll get back to you, Steve. We might
right.
be able to make this work. Thursday in Lansing.
Oh,
Stay tuned
that would be
for a meet
amazing.
and greet.
We could live tweet it.
We'll be there 1 minute before the showtime, so that's about how long we'll do the meet and greet. And we'll be out of there before the credits hit.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Steve and Kyle. Talk to you next week.
Step into spring with Floor Coverings International. Get 0% financing for 12 months on new floors. Visit fcispring.com to learn more. Every location is locally owned and operated.
You don't have to leave Michigan to earn a world-class education. At Walsh College, online learning and industry-leading programs let you study from anywhere, so you can grow your career and stay connected to your community. Walsh College has been the destination for business and tech degrees for over 100 years. Now is your chance to earn a degree designed to fit your busy life. Walsh College. Real-world education, real-life results. Learn more at walshcollege.edu.
Explore the vibrant world of color, from mind-bending physics to the feelings they evoke. The Nature of Color is now open at the Grand Rapids Public Museum, a special exhibition organized by the American Museum of Natural History in New York. The Nature of Color reveals how color carries information in nature, impacts science, and influences culture. Kent County kids 17 and under visit free every day. Visit grpm.org for tickets. Grand Rapids Public Museum. Be curious.